Oh, hello and welcome back. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. Today, I'm going to just show you how to play chess. Like a 1900 that lost a bunch of elo and is now 1882. We're starting with e4. This dude is 1867. He's from the United States. It looks like he is not so great at bullet, blitz, and classical. So he is very strong and rapid. That's all he plays. And aside from that, so you got the opportunity to put two pawns in the center. We put two pawns in the center. He's going to fanchetto his bishop over here, so we're going to try and blunt it with this little pawn chain. We're going to develop this light square bishop. This is being attacked by the knight. Should I push this pawn or should I put the knight there? Let's put the knight there because I'm getting ready to castle. He's getting ready to castle. I'm getting ready to castle. When this pawn does move, this knight will now be pinned, is more or less the idea behind that. Now I'm going to bring my other knight to the middle of the board. We're defending this with two things now. I probably could have castled before making that move, but I think they're interchangeable. And probably what's going to happen now is he's just going to go ahead and pin. And when he does so, this will not really be defended by anything other than this pawn. So that's something just to take note of. So he wants to batter my bishop around the board. So we're going to just scoot back. Nothing complicated. Sometimes going back this way is good, but I still want to maintain this pin that doesn't even exist yet because he hasn't pushed the pawn. But he is going to have to push that pawn. Absolutely, 1000% he has to make that move. Now if this pin does come into play, sometimes pushing this pawn to tickle the bishop to scoot back makes sense for the reason that if I get attacked by this pawn, I'll have a place to hide back here so his knight will never be able to access my dark square bishop. So that's one thing you got to be a little bit cognizant of, is making these pawn moves on the edge of the board. They're not good, but they're not bad. In really high level chess, I think that they try to avoid making weak pawn moves in the start. But when you're 1800, you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever your heart desires, as long as it's not going to blunder a piece. So he pushed a pawn, so I'm going to push a pawn. We're making these weak pawn moves on the side of the board. Because he did it, I'm going to do it. And the reason for that is not very clear what this is even trying to accomplish. So he castled, I'm going to castle. We've got a completely even position. This pin needs to come. I'm not sure what he's thinking with this bishop. It really only has one good square, or really two, but I think that this one is just a very soft move. So he tickles my bishop. Unfortunately, I have not pushed forward, so if he cares to, he can grab my dark square bishop. With the caveat of once he captures, I capture back like this, and then I have an open file to play with. So I lose the bishop pair. That's for certain. Indubitably, I'm going to lose that. I could push in the middle, but I need to move my queen somewhere so that my rooks see each other, because that's just good principles in chess. So I think I'm going to put my queen here and line up this attack. So then when this pawn push comes into play, I mean, this check doesn't really win me anything, but I don't see why I wouldn't do it. Now, what's a bummer about this situation is he doesn't have to capture. He can just let his knight hang out over there, and if I ever play a move like this, then he will capture. Then when I capture back like this, then my pawn structure is not what you want. It'll be like this. Or like this, sorry. I don't know what I'm thinking about. And then that is a little bit less ideal. So he wants to hop in. I ruin his pawns. He wants this bishop. I've got a lot of pawns on dark squares. So it's not the end of the world to just trade my dark square bishop right here. And then this will never happen. So let's just not think about it for too incredibly long. I've got a nice, healthy time advantage. Now, his king all of a sudden is weak. He doesn't have, this is not a pawn, this is a bishop. And so if I'm able to do something, I feel like bringing this rook, the rule of my least active piece. Is there anything immediate that I need to address? I mean, does this pawn push work? He's just going to take. Did that even make sense? Here. No, it doesn't work. I'm not even calculating it correctly, but it sucks. This pawn push now makes a lot of sense because it will stop this nonsense And he's going to have no pawn to push down and hit the fork. So let's just make this move. This pawn is a tad bit annoying. So like a move like this could be annoying. What would just be legendary if he pushed this and I was able to take that away. Potentially a better move would have been rule of the least active piece. Okay, so he scoots over. His king is now on dark squares, defended by the dark square bishop. It all makes perfect sense. He still has not developed this. It makes me want to just like break out in the middle. But we're going to bring this rook. Also getting off this diagonal, because once these pawns do clear up, we don't want this bishop looking at anything valuable. And my rook is valuable. You're valuable. Know your worth. You're a valuable person. It's a miracle that you're even here and that we're on this planet just kicking it. It's a little bit scary. Just a tad little bit scary because what he wants is this. So I'm going to match it by scooting over. You want to put your king over here? I'm putting my king over here. And I could go like this. I can scoot my rook over. Quite happy with all of this. Is my face too close to this mic? Look at this thing. Changing colors. That's how you know it's high quality. That's right. And I got my little Bitcoin. It's in a water bottle. That's how it's holding up like here. But it's a quiet water bottle when I put it down. I don't fully understand why he didn't go 2 moves, but check this out. This is a Bitcoin wallet. Isn't that cool? I like cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency likes me. And I'm wearing a cardigan, so I feel quite positive about how this game is going to turn out. This pawn push isn't fun for me. I feel like I got a break in the center, but this is just, it's not great. Boom, 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 boom. What's the game plan? Kip 314 chess. What is the game plan? This pawn sucks. I want to get rid of it. Maybe I go like this and then this. Let's just make a move. Let's just make a move. I'm not trying to lose my time advantage. I don't think this even makes sense because if he captures and I capture back, then this rook will be looking at it. He can even push this pawn. This move makes like 0 sense. That pawn move, I still feel like didn't make a lot of sense. We're both playing a little bit defensive. I mean, now if I push, the bishop doesn't see it, so it's going to be like take, take, take. I mean, if I go here, then repeating moves. Bro, you want to play slow, weird chess? I'll play slow, weird chess right back at you. Neither of us want to commit. We're both in a friends with benefits thing right now. Neither of us are any commitments. You know, there's a little bit of feelings going on, but nothing serious. And so he goes for the push in the center. This pawn is now defended. Oh, boy. I can push forward, and then I got a little light square bind in the middle. And if I do take, then this pawn becomes a little bit goofy. Push forward. I mean, I'm attacking something. The knight will definitely go back. If I take, probably we see this pawn. I mean, if he takes, I take. So I don't even know if I have to take. This knight is officially doing nothing. I want him to be doing something right now. Attack the rook? Does that make any sense? Attack the rook and then pin? Then your bishop will come over here? That's what he's thinking about with his bishop. Not confident about this move. I'm attacking a rook. I hope he doesn't see it. I hope he doesn't see it. And so maybe this game of chess is not so simple. Oh my goodness. All right, at least it's off this file. I like that. Then I can pin over here. Then his bishop will at least come over here. It's still looking at my king, but now he's looking at my king through a lot of different things. I'm pushing a pawn. I'm really down. I'm down 40 seconds. Oh, no, sir, no, ma'am. Not a chance. I'm fairly certain that I'm better at bullet than this guy. So I really hope we get into a little bit of a time scramble. Okay. Okay, bro. You want to just make moves like that? This pawn push? Then you would have a kind of a scary little sacrifice on my queen right here. But I can grab back. I can grab back. Okay, we were going to just trade this off in the sake of simplification. Was that the best move? No idea. If I push forward, I feel like we're going to be sort of going towards a draw. If I take, he takes back like this, or like this, then this guy's alone. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. These pawns are also still looking at each other. Okay, so he did take back like that. If I go here and he attacks me, I don't know if this rook needs to be over here. Let's put this rook in the middle. If he takes, I take. We're cool with that. And then maybe like, boom. What does this knight want to do? He wants to be here, realistically. Or push this pawn and have him here. But this is like the square that this knight should be on. This knight should maybe just move and I solidify my center like this. Like boom, boom. Maybe that's a good idea. I'm attacking stuff. 4 minutes and 27 seconds. I got 4 minutes and 7 seconds. He locks it down over here. Going over here. This is my idea. This pawn is a little weak. We're going to push forward. If he makes this pawn push, it might not be so terrible. Okay, so we are really just locking it down. I mean, I feel like I'm going to have to make that move at some point. And one other tidbit. Oh my goodness. If I jump in and he gets here, we definitely don't really want this guy. We're going like this. Yes, he can push, but then I could just kind of capture. Do I even want that bishop? I feel like this knight is a little bit more valuable than that lowly bishop. We're going to get rid of it. That's what we're going to do. This knight can't even really get into the game. So what's his future? Boom, boom, boom. That's the game plan. Okay, he's attacking this. We temporarily defend it with the queen. I'm down a minute, bro. We defended it with the queen. We now defend it with the rook. This pawn push would be a little bit scary. Something like this might happen. Even this pawn push. Our friend is applying the pressure. And I need to be playing quicker. Boom. Boom. He hits me. What did that accomplish? Here. This is defended in a great way. He takes that square away from me. Rook scoots up. Now we got a lot of rooks looking at this square, buddy. A lot. Queen's coming here next, is my idea. His queen is taking a gander at this dark diagonal right next to my king. Does this pawn push make sense? He could just defend, but then I bust it open. Okay. Scoot forward. My knight sucks, bruh. And this square, we definitely don't want his queen getting in there. He scoots back. What was the plan of that? This? Let's go for a pawn break. Definitely shouldn't have spent so much time on that. But this is a very crucial part of the position. He takes. I take back with the queen. He attacks this pawn. Not a whole heckin' lot of great ways to defend it. We slide back like this to defend it in the most ugly fashion ever. And unfortunately, this knight is blocked out by this single pawn over here. Wow, his position is nice. Nice position. Are you really going for this? I don't think that's going to work. This. A fork. A fork in the position. A blunder by Kip314. Oh, dear Lord. This knight is so well placed. Is there any way out of that? Attack the queen? No, that's still hit by the knight. Oh, he's going to see it. Oh, dear Lord, I can't look. I can't look. Moment of silence for my rook. He didn't see it. Oh my goodness. I think we might have a chance. I think we scoot back over. And we just tickle the queen. We tickle the queen. Would love to get rid of this dude. This knight probably needs to get back into the action. We're going to just make a knight move. He now could jump in again. Here. Does any of that make sense? This pawn push is actually pretty scary. Okay. We then defend like this with the armada. Boom, boom, boom. I don't even... Was that necessary? Take. It's defended by the king. I don't know why I felt like I needed to defend it 3 times. He is tickling into the position. If he takes that... We're going to tickle this queen one more time. This move makes sense. "49 seconds, buddy." Okay. Just make a move. Here. Here. Did that blunder this? Boom, boom, boom. Now he's going for this. Bro. Chess sucks. Chess sucks. I can get in and also attack that knight. I can also come in and attack this pawn. Okay. Here. What am I trying to do? Here. We go for the knight. Oh my goodness. Take. He sacrifices the queen. Oh my god, I think he could have played it. 27 seconds against 13. If take here, but it's not check. I'm so scared. We're into the position. 10 seconds against... Oh my goodness. We scoot. Knight blocks everything off. He goes here. We take. He could sacrifice, but we're here. We cover the open file. We go over here. We start pushing this pawn. And we flag him. Oh my god. Professor Kip with a cardigan. Definitely, we got into a little bit of a low time scramble. I think that I grabbed the victory. I mean, absolutely. In this position, I'm crushing. It was like he was just applying pressure, but I was able to just wiggle around. And you know what I mean? Don't let when you've got a time advantage, don't let them repeat moves. You got to just change the position just enough to like the moves don't repeat. And so I am excited to check this out with the computer. I hope you are. So let's just go on over there together. And oh boy, what a game of chess we just had. And there were so many things that I missed. And one thing I realized, I recorded that without the opponent's clock, but we kept the same amount of time. So whatever my time is at is what the opponent's clock is generally at. You'll be able to see it here in the analysis, but it was generally like, I even mentioned some stuff about the time. But check out this graph. I was crushing, and I had to make a pawn break and a bunch of positional moves to just have this advantage. I was never going to win a piece and have this advantage. It was like I could set up my position in a good way. So the opening, I'm doing all right. Middle game, I had an advantage. I just didn't know it. I threw it away, and then I was basically down a pawn positionally the entire game. We finally get into low time where he blunders, and he sacrificed the rook for the knight out of desperation of having no time. I had 8 inaccuracies, 4 mistakes, 3 blunders, 85% accurate, and our opponent 7 inaccuracies, 2 mistakes, 4 blunders, 78% accurate. And he played quite well. And you're going to see we needed to be going for a pawn break in the center that neither of us wanted to make. That happens in so many of my games. And so, like I said in this position, he makes a weak pawn move on the edge of the board. I'm making a weak pawn move. I was supposed to put it 2, but pushing it 1 is easier. My hand is kind of lazy. I don't want to push it that far. And so I'm supposed to decide that I want these light squares. Okay? That's what I'm supposed to decide. We castle. He hits me. I scoot back. There was even a sacrifice in here that could have worked potentially, but we're not going to do none of that. We're not getting fancy. We then move the queen. Don't know what to do, but it's an equal or more or less position. I'm supposed to go for this pawn break. Not pawn break, but pawn push. And then, yeah, you're going to take here. I would have definitely taken with the other pawn. We take with this pawn. He jumps to the middle. We then trade. He probably would have taken with the bishop because he doesn't want to ruin his pawns. So these engine lines are, take them with a grain of salt. Nobody's going to play like that. He takes with the pawn, and I've got +1 advantage. And we need every single move. I need to push here, and he needs to push here, and we're just not doing it. He needs to do it. I need to do it. He needs to do it. I need to do it. He needs to do it. I need to do it. I literally wasted this move because I didn't know what I was doing. I did a little back and forth with the knight. Don't be afraid of doing that. I'm still winning. It was a equal position, but you know what I mean? At the sake of I didn't know what to do, and I don't want to make a really committal pawn push in the middle that might just be bad for me. Go ahead and shuffle around. My position is secure. And now this idea was just a spark of luck. There's no way that I thought this was the best plan. The reason that this is the best move now, 2020 is hindsight is 2020. I attack the rook. You got to do something with the rook. I scoot in, attack the knight. You got to break the pin. Then my knight can get to this square. And this square was really, really dank for my knight. Definitely after we trade the light square bishop. And so I hit the best move. He plays. I pin the knight. He could have gone this way, but then I can take and draw his bishop over there, and then I can get here, and that's the idea here. So we could have just attacked it twice. He would have had to pin. That would have made sense. But the real idea is this diagonal has now been vacated. My light square knight can now get into the light square over here. And so I push a pawn, because why not? And I'm supposed to push here. He moves somewhere, we trade, he takes, and then I lock it down and just say, I own these light squares, was the idea. Did not see it. We trade here, and at this point, we've got 4 minutes and 5 minutes. And so I don't know if you've been watching these little clocks in the top, if you can see them. We had like exactly the same amount of time other than in the opening. And so we shuffle around. I make this pawn push, which is a blunder, because basically my knight gets stuck over here, and my knight jumping and jumping. I mean, I got rid of this knight. It's not even the best move, but boom, equal position, and my knight needed to try and figure out a way to get into the game like this. But I didn't want to push this pawn and make the knight move, so I didn't know what to do. So I moved my rook, so I had a place to put my knight, so my knight could go over here, which was stupid because he's just going to get hit, and then from there, he has to go back somehow. And so we're defending with the queen. We defend with the rook. I'm trying to get my knight over here. He says, no, your knight is not coming over here. And then I don't know what to do with my knight. So I put my rooks all on the 7th rank. I knew that this pawn is obviously going to be my weakness in the position. It's like very, very important. And so it's hard to say what I was even supposed to do. I scooted up, pushed this pawn. This pawn break was a bad idea for me, but it's really hard to say why. Ooh, I didn't even look at this check. Would I have? I mean, I just get hit. What's the idea behind that? I'm losing by 1. Let's not even go into that line because I don't think it's important. I'm still losing. We scoot back, and we blunder. Absolute blunder. If he would have seen this, guaranteed I lose this game. Guaranteed. But he doesn't. And there was no way out of it. There was no way out of it. What's the best move? To just ignore it? The computer can't even decide. I'm supposed to decide, bro, what's the best move? We move the queen over. He takes the rook. And we're losing the game. Okay? Got so lucky here. He spent 40 seconds on this move. And I think that he just malfunctioned. He didn't know what to do, so he started moving everywhere with his queen. He's doing this, and we repeated moves. The reason that I made this knight move, yes, it's a mistake, technically, but he was like repeating moves with his queen, doing whatever. And so I kind of knew he was going to do that, and I wanted to repeat a couple moves in a different position. Like if he was literally just going to go back and forth and there was nothing I could do about it. But now the knight is here, so we only repeated the position twice. If we repeated the queen and the rook and the knight, whatever, this guy is over here, the position is different. So he goes out. We scoot over here. I'm now defending this like more ways, a lot of ways. His knight can just go here, and it's a hard to play position for me. We scoot up. I'm eyeing this pawn, and I take. And so, yes, there's just a fork here again, but we've got 30 seconds and 17 seconds. So we had 17. What I was worried about here was take. What would have happened? Take, and there's not enough stuff. But he could have done this, but then he's just going to win my rook, but then he does get in. So it could have been sketchy. That's what I was calculating, and that is what I spent 6 seconds thinking about. And then I said, you know what? Oh, it was here. I spent half of my time, 15 seconds, because I was worried about him taking my rook, my other rook coming over here, and for some reason I thought that there was like another rook attacking this. I know there's not 3 rooks, but he goes here. And to tell you the truth, I did not even consider that I could take the queen. Yes, it's checkmate. I'm glad I didn't see that, because maybe I would have just gone for it and got it checkmated in the corner. I, for some reason, like thought my king was here, and this was just like a hanging pawn that was pinned, is my excuse. Then we bring the queen back. This position, I'm completely winning. And then we scoot the king. My literal idea was to like scoot my king over here and just get away from this pawn. Like on this side, that way I'm not going to get checkmated. Pushing this pawn, the whole reason the pawn was here was preventing my knight from getting in. Now that my knight's in, you push, I just take the pawn for free. And there's really not a good way to, for one, stop this pawn, and then for two, to stop this pawn. So he sacrifices out of desperation, and I think I put my rook on the open file just in case something like this happened. We're just going to trade it off. I've got 5 seconds. He's got less than a second. And I mean, the rest is history. I was literally just going to push this. Yes, he'd probably figure out a way to stop it. And whatever. We would end up trading our pieces off like that. Literally, I push. Push, 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 push. And he's going to have to trade something off. And when he does, I'm going to have more than him because I got more stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that analysis wasn't too long. 8 minutes. So thank you so much. Sorry about the clock. Oh man, my face looks kind of weird in this lighting, but it is what it is. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.